Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. A quick update for Bitcoin. Finally, we break out this triangle as an A, B, C, D, and an E. Finally, we break it. We take the 95K 600 as a confirmation for higher price action. We took the wave D high, and of course, here we go. We're moving higher now. As we mentioned, of course, on this channel, since, of course, the start of this trend toward the upside, we are still looking, of course, for this 1-to-1 fib level. Now, of course, it's gonna be hit soon or later, as we can see, and we're gonna, of course, see the reaction of the price action there. If it's gonna continue for higher, potentially it can be, because if this is a 1, 2, 3, you're looking still for wave 4 and a 5, maybe the wave 5 is gonna be extended, or you're gonna get directly extended wave 3, 4, and a 5. And finishing in this inside this blue box, which it can be, of course, much higher potential for a wave 5 here as a wave C. And that means, of course, a wave 5, those targets are taken, as you can see, from the bottom of the wave 1 to the top of the wave 1, and based, of course, on the top of the wave 3. Giving us, of course, a potential of a finished impulse here, that it might finish for a wave 5 in a wave C, and of course at the 0.618 1-to-1 fib level. Now, what is the scenario here? If we reach this price action, what it might happen? This 1-to-1 fib level, of course, has been overshooted, and that means you start to look for a wave 3, which it might be minimum target 1.27 or the 1.618. Now, the 1.27 and the 1.618 are, of course, above this blue box. And that means, of course, once we break this blue box, therefore, I'm going to call an extended wave 5 toward the upside, that, of course, it might unfold after an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the case where I'm gonna call potentially, of course, an impulse toward the upside. Don't forget, you still might get, of course, a W, X, Y, X, and a Z as a potential scenario, where we saw the same exactly here. Yeah, we saw 5 waves towards the downside, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Does it looks like an impulse? Definitely not. It looks like, of course, a W, X, Y, X, and a Z. While the same is potentially repeating here as W, X, Y, X, and a Z. Yeah, so basically, it can be very possible that, because, of course, of the sideways that we see for the X's here, right? It is not possible to have a wave 2 from a triangle, and it is much higher potential that it is a wave B or a wave X, right? It's the same we can say about this one. This leg is shorter than the wave 1, and meaning once you get a long wave 5, the impulse is gonna invalidate it, because a wave 3 is not allowed to be shorter than a wave 5, and of course shorter than the wave 1. Yeah, so this is not an impulse, of course. You would like to see a wave 3 the longest between those waves, and the 1.618 for a wave 5 is already giving a longer length for a wave 5 rather than a wave 3. And that means, of course, a higher possibility goes for invalidation of an impulse, giving higher possibility for a wave Y in case we see overshooting. So basically, I'm gonna repeat step by step what we are looking for, guys, here. So basically, 1-to-1 fib level is going to be taken sooner or later. It can be overshooting, because you still want to, if this is a 1-2 here, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave 3, 4, and a 5 potentially, that it might hit the 0.618. If we do this and we still inside this blue box under the 1.27, that is, of course, a potential of a finished wave C in a wave 5. And that means, of course, you finished a 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D, E for a wave 4, and then moving for this wave 5 continuation toward the downside, because you finished a wave C, right? If we overshoot, we would like to hit the 1.27 at least, of course, to say that this might be a wave 3 here after a 1, 2, right? Meaning this will transform to a 1, 2, and the whole thing is gonna be a wave 3, right? If we see a longer wave 5 extended, start to be longer than the 1-to-1 fib level, that means, of course, invalidation of an impulse, guys. We cannot give, of course, a wave 5 and a wave 1 longer than the wave 3. Meaning the 1-to-1 fib level for this wave 3, I'm gonna just put the signal here. So at this level, wave 5 longer than wave 1. At this level, 100, let's say 105K, 104, 950. Yeah, so at this level, a wave 5 becomes, of course, longer than the wave 3, and then, of course, invalidation of any kind of an impulse, only in case, even like a very rare case scenario, that a wave 2 is finishing in the sideways without reaching 0.38 and so on, guys. So basically, those are the levels step by step that I'm looking for it. I'm looking right now potentially for this blue box in case we see higher prices. We're gonna see how the things are going to react first at the 1-to-1 fib level 96,500. Yep, that was it for Bitcoin, the quick update. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.